We are the
senior class of
2024.
The class of 2024 has no doubt faced many obstacles throughout their years at PHS, from logging onto Zoom for classes freshman year, interacting with classmates whose smiles were hidden behind masks, and finally experiencing a full, normal school year in 2023. These incredibly resilient students have overcome all the challenges thrown at them to finally reach senior year and their hard-earned graduation. Let's take a trip down memory lane with the class of 2024.
So, throughout your years at PHS, what was the most memorable event?
I think it was probably me playing Belle in Beauty and the Beast. Like, I've always wanted to do that since I was a kid. I don't think myself when I was a kid would ever thought that I would be leading a musical. It was just so amazing.
I would say peer group and the bonds that we made throughout the peer group process and class. All the friends that we made and also the retreat.
I was going to say the retreat was really fun because we all got to interact with each other even through the different classes. Like, we played volleyball games, but I'd say outside of peer group, I think the most memorable thing for me was definitely just getting to hang out with my friends, like during prom.
I think being in the Play That Goes Wrong, that was my first real drama production at PHS, and I got a lead, and it was so fun to do. It was so fun to learn the lines, be backstage, and work with tech crew because it was really complicated, so I'd say that.
It hasn't happened for us yet, but I'm excited for senior skip day. I think I'll remember that. And then prom, seaside, and then all the senior activities we have. And we're also allowed to leave the school whenever we want, so we take advantage of that a lot.
The most memorable event was probably my junior year musical. We did Newsies, and it was huge. It was a huge production. It was so much fun. It was such a fun process, and it was really, really tiring because it was just very physically demanding. So that show was a lot of fun. I did it with a lot of my best friends that I had made in the theater department.
What is the story that you're going to tell your new friends in college?
So we had Spanish classes, and in the Spanish classes you have to just talk in Spanish. So for the entire time we were in that class, we just talked to each other in Spanish. So about a month into the year, the teacher wasn't there, and some girl next to me was like, "Oh my God, I hate this class so much. It's my least favorite class." And I was confused, because I'd only ever heard her talk in a Spanish accent. So I replied back in a British accent. I was like, "Why are you speaking in a British accent?" And she looks at me with this deadpan look and just goes, "I'm South African, dumbass." And I just was like, oh.
Maybe about Mr. Schmiel teaching me self-defense. I had a friend who had a little bit of an incident, and we reported it to Mr. Schmiel, and he taught me how to protect myself and throw a punch. When I saw him in the hall, he'd make me practice, so.
Probably about the time, it was our first homecoming sophomore year, because freshman year we obviously didn't have it. And my friends and I, we went to homecoming, and then we ended up leaving at halftime. And we ended up with a group of 25 people. And we were in a pizza place, and I felt so bad for the owners because we were really loud. But it was a lot of fun because it was my first time going to a big school event and hanging out with a group of people that I really didn't know that well, but that was really fun.
I think for me, probably from Senior Assassin. Not so school related, but we had one night where we went out to shoot the others, and we all ended up just shooting each other. We were fighting to figure out who shot who so loudly that someone ended up calling the police. It was really ridiculous, but it was so much fun. It was just such a core memory.
Oh yeah, no, definitely Senior Assassins, because there was a big shootout and I got caught up in it. And then I drove over to save people, and then I ended up getting shot the most, and I wasn't even part of the two teams fighting.
I think it's not really related to me, but in my stat class last year, there was this guy that was in my class, and we didn't see him for 6 months to 8 months because he was doing something in physics. He was building a flying potato around the room, and then it got he hit himself with a potato, and then he got a concussion, and he never came back, and I never saw him again. So I think I might tell that.
In your opinion, what is the best class that you've taken at PHS?
Oh, mythology. I love Dr. Danvers. She's amazing. She's my favorite teacher here. I love her so much. Anyone should take a class from her.
I'd say probably the AP chemistry class. I took it with some of my friends last year, and it was so much fun, especially after the AP. We had to do a little project for Willowbrook Elementary School where we had to go present, and we got to just play around for weeks with chemicals and just mix them, and we made an ammonia fountain, and it was so much fun because we just kind of had to figure out the procedure on our own and set up the experiment, and it was a lot of freedom, and you could really feel it all the things you spent the last year like learning so intensely all of a sudden came to use?
I'd say architecture advanced. We got to go in depth into, this one field that was not like a normal field taught in school. And we got to fully understand like the practical aspects of it and also the design. That class worked out for me because I'm going to study architecture.
I really liked AP Gov most surprisingly because I started the class and I like hated it, but I loved the teacher and like a lot of my friends from the class, so we had a lot of really fun group discussions.
I'd say musical theater. Over the years, it was a different group of people each year. We did a different show each year, and being in that class, you're able to see them perform more often because we did songs and scenes.
Choir is my favorite class because last year we got to go to Portugal, which was so much fun. Made lots of friends, learned music in different languages, got to perform with so many amazing, talented people. It's just overall so much fun and such a great experience.
My favorite class probably would be English senior year. Pretty chill class, regular English, fun time.
I'd say mine is probably forensics. Miss Custer is an amazing teacher. She's super nice and fun, so that was definitely a pro. And I also believe that people should take the classes that they're most interested in. And for me, forensics is like one of those things.
Well, there's a class I wish I took. I found out about it today. It was research.
Oh yeah.
I saw they were doing the thing upstairs, so I went up to go look, and I was super jealous because they had like animals and like it looked really fun.
I really loved taking philosophy last year with Mr. Sullivan. It's an incredible class. If they could turn it into a track of classes, I think that'd be incredible. But it's great.
I think AP Calc. I took AP Calc AB as a junior, and I really didn't like math before then. I wasn't very confident in it, and then I took AP Calc. I really liked my teacher, and he kind of made me a lot more confident in my math skills, and because of that, I now appreciate math more, and I'm gonna go into something that requires me to use math, which is something I never thought I would do.
Okay, so this was during COVID. Biology was mostly hell. It was hell because it was online. During that COVID year, I had a lot of trouble, but the assignments we had, I remember 3 projects that we did in pretty good detail. And I don't think I can say the same for any other class that I had freshman year.
Given that you're all peer group leaders, what is one experience or something that you took from peer group?
So I'm majoring in psychology. I want to be a therapist, and I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do peer group, because it was kind of an experience to talk to younger kids about some of their experiences. Sometimes they came to me asking for advice, so that was kind of nice to be able to know that I can help someone, and also kind of prepared me for my future. So yeah.
Getting to know the freshmen and just figuring out what you need to do and what you need to put in to get through to younger people who don't want to be there and who don't want to you're forcing them to be somewhere every week. What's necessary to engage them, what's necessary to bond with them.
Yeah, I think it's definitely nice getting to know people younger than us and the younger generation, and really getting to know who we also might be working with in the future as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was really fun bonding with freshmen because they're so much younger than us. I think it was definitely fun to talk to them, and I'll definitely keep those skills with me in the future as well.
And seeing them develop throughout the year too, and being able to get them to open up and see them grow and just become more open and confident. It's really nice to be able to be a part of that.
What is one thing that you would tell your freshman self to have a better high school experience?
I would tell my freshman self to be proud of the work that I'm doing. Yes, it's important to push myself outside of my comfort zone, to push myself to be better than I am, but I really can't do that unless I'm giving myself credit for what I am doing, and just to pursue the things that make me happy instead of the things that I feel I have to do.
I think especially the 4 years before senior year, I spent so much time just stuck in my studies, but in the end, make sure you also have some moments with your friends, just having fun. Don't forget that part.
Realize that you're an amazing person. There's some people in your life that don't see that, and if you can learn to love yourself, you'll find better people there, and also stay away from drama. It just it takes too much energy to deal with people like that.
Don't care what people think of you. I mean, this is toned down, but I usually dress a certain way, and it took me a while to learn just to not care what people think, and I feel if I learned that earlier when I was a freshman, that would have made stuff easier.
Yeah, and put yourself out there. I feel that's a big one. Just have confidence. It's your life. Don't care about what other people think. Just do what you want. Join as many clubs and everything, sports, anything you're interested in. Join it, because it's great to be get involved with the community.
I was just gonna say be social, and really talk to the people that you love and the people that you trust, because if you're ever having a really tough time, then those people will be there for you. I would say just try and put yourself out there, even though it may seem a little bit scary.
Know when to be yourself. Never pretend to be someone else, but there's a time and a place for expressing yourself. And when that time comes, you need to fully try to express yourself. But before that time, sometimes it's better to pay attention in class.
Yeah, and there's so much to do at PHS. I think no matter what, if you want to do something, there's always going to be an opportunity at PHS. And as they were saying before, I think it's so important to also have balance in your life, because I spent basically freshman through junior year thinking about college, and in senior year I kind of let go. I could have done so much more in the past that I didn't really do now.
Don't stress. I was always stressing about the smallest things. I know a lot of upperclassmen tell you oh, one test is not gonna kill you, whatever. I just never believed it. I was yes, this test is gonna be the end of me, but they were right. It's not gonna affect you in any way. There's 4 quarters, there's so much room for improvement. So don't stress. Over stress is the worst thing you can do for yourself. High school, yes, it's a pathway to college, but it's also such an important time for you to just experience and just make mistakes and not stress. Yeah.
You just have to tolerate the school, get good grades, study for standardized tests, get into college, and then you can move on with your life. You're not going to achieve anything that great in high school, but you just need to tolerate it for 4 years and then you'll be done.
I've always been a perfectionist with things, even when it's not necessarily necessary. So I'd say, don't cause yourself anxiety by thinking about it too much. Instead of spending the time it would take to make a good assignment into making it a perfect assignment, I could have done another assignment. And I think I caused a lot of stress to myself with that.
I mean, there's times to be serious and there's times to be fun, just finding the balance in between.
What will you miss most about PHS?
Not weirdly, I think being in the same school as my sister, because we're going pretty far from each other, and we've been in the same school, sometimes same class since preschool. So it's weird to be without her, and I'll miss that.
I'm gonna miss the location of it. Princeton is such an amazing town with such amazing people, and there's no real place like Princeton.
Definitely my friends. Being able to see my friends every day is obviously the best thing ever, and we're not too far from each other, but obviously we're not going to see each other every day. And I've some of my best friends I've been best friends with for 12 years, because we went to Cranberry together and we've known each other for so long. So I'm definitely going to miss them the most.
Some of the people I won't miss, but some of the people I certainly will miss. So that's the one thing. People are going off to different colleges across the country.
I think the students really made the school a lot better. I think just having that close environment of kids all together, and then when we're off in college, I mean, we'll lose a little bit of connections, but I hope that most of them stay.
Would you like to leave a message for your friends, teachers, or classmates, or anything like that?
I guess just thank you. It's been a great 4 years. I've learned a lot from everyone I've met. I'm really gonna miss it. I'm really excited to, go to college and move on and open this new chapter of my life or whatever, but I am definitely gonna miss everyone. I'm very grateful to everyone.
I'm gonna miss you guys. I still haven't registered the fact that I'm leaving. I spent so long here, even though the first year was online. Everyone knows each other at this point. It's just really bittersweet, but I hope to come back.
I'd say thank you to everyone that was there for me this year.
There are tunnels under the school, by rumor. There's a ghost in the black box. Take a class by Dr. Danvers, she's amazing, I love her. There's chickens sometimes in the courtyard.
For teachers, thank you so much for putting up with all of us, because I know we're genuinely so annoying.
Shout out to Miss Esposito, because she has been instrumental in keeping me interested and fascinated by learning. She sees potential in me that sometimes I don't, and it's very encouraging. So thank you, Miss Esposito, for that.
I guess just to everyone I've known here, it's been a very welcoming 3 years of my life. And I love being able to enter into traditions and cultures and passing that on to the next generation of PHS students. Hope if you're seeing this in the future, you enjoy your time here too.
For 4 years, the class of 2024 has learned, laughed, and made memories within the halls and classrooms of PHS. Although saying goodbye is bittersweet, there are still so many amazing experiences yet to come. These students have worked so long and hard for this very moment. Let's wish them all the best of luck as they pursue their dreams and move forward into the next chapter of their lives.
Bye.
Bye.
Princeton High School.
Bye, PHS.